It's the season finale of This Week in CA Football, powered by GEICO. Hope you had a great holiday season. I'm Bobby Broyles, alongside my partner, Tim McDonald.
Heaps.
With the national championship coming up this weekend and the end of the college football season approaching, it's time to take a look back at what was another banner year in CA football.
Again, yeah, I thought you were going to start off the 2015 by asking me how my New Year's was and seeing how things were.
I don't think,
I missed the last show. I thought...
Not your New Year's, I don't think our viewers should know what you did on New Year's.
It's true. Well, as Bob alludes to here, it was a season to remember for CA football, and I know in some sense, the banner for this league has been let's reach Frisco and let's see how far we can go, and I think that's a good thing. Yep. And to sit here a little bit disappointed, saying hopefully that we should be in Frisco. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, there's another game going on, another conference. It's tough to sit here, but you look at overall, ultimately it comes down to the playoffs, and we see 4 teams from the CA football make the playoffs. Obviously, Richmond, JMU, New Hampshire, and Villanova, with New Hampshire and Nova advancing the farthest. Another job by the Wildcats. I know you and Eric talked about it in the last show, but just 11 straight postseason appearances. You look, just at the banner year for the CAA, and another great season. New Hampshire's Sean McDonald wins the Eddie Robinson. Of course, John Robertson at Villanova wins the Peyton Award. And look at that, Vad Lee. He's a guy who returns next year.
Yep.
He finished 4th for Peyton voting. And Don Cherry, he returns next year. He finished 2nd in the Buchanan Award. Look at the All-Americans, too. I mean, it just goes up and down the list. You see a lot of seniors and a lot of impactful players this year who helped grow and help this league just keep its dominance, I think, in some sense across the FCS level. Again, we'd love to be in Frisco, Bob, but you can't sit back and say this was a disappointing year. It was another great year in CA football.
Well, with the season ending, there is still a lot to look forward to around CA football. Let's first look at some of the departing seniors that will be leaving us, certainly a handful who have left their mark in the league. Any guys you see having a shot at the next level, maybe playing on Sundays?
I'm no Todd McShay, but I'll slow my roll before that. But like you said, there really are. You look up and down this conference, the first thing that hits me, we look at the seniors leaving. There's a lot of really good receivers in this conference who were seniors this past year. Talk about a guy like R.J. Harris. We've talked about a million times this show. He leaves CA football as the all-time leader in receptions. What a career he had at New Hampshire. He's probably going to have a shot at the next level. You look at a guy, Trey McBride out of William & Mary, another stud wide receiver who also was a great special teams guy. Yep. I mean, you just keep on going. Stephen Barnett, a lot of times we forget about because he's injured. The receiver position next year is going to take a huge step down in some sense. We're going to see a lot of new guys develop. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, you can just go up and down the list again. Yep. You look at Dean Marlowe from James Madison, Sage Harold and Ty Smith, Ryan Dallaire from Towson. A lot of guys were very impactful for their programs up and down CA football. I think these seniors, we've seen it before, might not be 4th, 5th, 6th round guys drafted, Bob, but you know they're going to get a chance. You know they're going to get a tryout, and I look forward to seeing how their careers progress. And even if they don't, the mark that they left in CA football was certainly large.
And you forgot, of course, Mr. Swole himself down at William & Mary, Mike Riley.
Mike Riley, of course, the Defensive Player of the Year.
He'll at least be lifting some of those guys on
that's
Sunday,
true,
keeping
that's
up
true.
with them. Then, of course, we can't wrap up the season finale without taking a glimpse into next season, Tim. And you'd have to think that the biggest headline going into 2015 will be the return of Villanova quarterback John Robinson.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna talk about it a million times. So get ready, CA fans, because it's gonna happen. It has to happen. This is a quarterback who's gonna be a senior at Villanova. Andy Talley's been there for a long time too. I mean, you just look at this program, and unfortunately they came up short in the playoffs last year. But again, they do have John Robinson. They lose a lot. Up and down this conference, he's going to be the guy looked at by everyone, either if it's shutting him down or if it's carrying him. John Robertson right now, 3 1,000-yard rushing seasons. He's over 10,000 yards. He's the all-time leader in Villanova offense. That says a lot. I mean, and talk about the year of the quarterback in CAA football next year. Vad Lee from JMU, who just was a single season. He broke just about every passing record at JMU. He's back in another year offensively at JMU, which is scary to think about.
Yes.
If you look at Sean Goldrich at New Hampshire, he returns. It's certainly going to be the John Robertson show, but I think you can also talk optimistically about a lot of people returning. We talked about Don Cherry earlier, who just had a monster year, over 20 tackles for loss and 10 sacks. And, you just look at even New Hampshire. Yes, they lose a lot, but like I said, they return Sean Goldrich. They have that stability of reaching the playoffs 11 straight seasons. And then on a broader notion, you look at this league and you think about, okay, we finally don't have to worry about new teams coming in. We know that the Elons and the Albanys and the Stony Brooks are starting to settle in. I mean, you look at a team like UAlbany, Maine, William & Mary, and Towson, just a lot of people are returning and a lot of things. I think stability and familiarity is starting to settle in a little bit better. It's going to be really exciting, too, because now the coaches are starting to get used to each other, and a little bit of rivalries are starting to develop, too. I think new ones that we haven't seen. So I think certainly the future of CAA football is in good hands.
Hard to believe we are already looking forward to 2015. And on that note, we say goodbye for now from This Week in CAA Football, powered by GEICO. But we aren't done yet, are we, Tim?
No, I got 4 words. The Yak podcast season finale. Can't leave this season without doing another episode. You can catch it tomorrow on the blog, cafootball.wordpress.com. We'll also be staying busy throughout the offseason, so you can check cafootball.com and our blog and our social media accounts as well for the latest news and information. I know there's a lot of senior games, a lot of stuff going on, so be sure to follow those platforms.
Absolutely. We would also like to thank everyone behind the scenes here at CA Football that helped this show go. Director of Video Services, Alex Souza. Director of Football Communications, Eric Weberg. And teleprompter extraordinaire. Our fearless leader, of course, Scott Meyer, who unfortunately won't be with us next year. Thank you, Scott, for everything that you've done for us. Of course, he was in your chair before you came along.
He did a pretty good job. He wasn't too shabby. And Scott is a good friend of ours and has had a large impact on CA football. There's no question he's probably going to be missed a lot more than we realize. I can speak for all of us by saying we wish Scott and his wife Mandy the best moving forward. And on a side note, I'm already out of a dog sitting job because Scott, had Bailey, his dog. So thanks a lot, Scott.
You'll miss Bailey.
I will a little bit.
Of course, we can't forget CA Football Commissioner Tom Yeager as well. We would also like to thank all the coaches, staff, and players in the league who helped us along the way this season with not just the show, but also with our Going Deep features that were once again a huge success. Let's wrap up, though, thanking the fans for interacting with us and tuning in every week as Tim and I provided everying you needed to know about CA football.
Yeah, I just feel lucky to be here with you, Beebs. I mean, the fans were the ones who make this. I think it's the coolest thing now. Me and you, you walking through stadiums now, people are recognizing you from YouTube.
Both of the YouTube
That's
guy.
the best part. We do it all for you guys, and that's the greatest part about seeing this and seeing the interaction and the passion from our fans.
Well, before Tim starts unloading the tears over here, we need to get out. So have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.